Okay, that says dead end, don't enter. So I guess I gotta go here, which costs 4, which shouldn't be a big deal right now. And it has another explosions bypass my stuff. But it's fine. I can gather whatever we see here, but my primary goal is to fuck off. To successfully extract from this location and gain further reach into the final zone of the game, I think. Unless there's like an extra dimensional one off the map or something. I will just... Anomalous clouds and concussive blast. Why aren't these in alphabetical order or something? Okay. Cloud-related hazards will manifest at ground level. Okay. We have more context for what that even means at this point than we did back when it first came up ages ago. I'll fix you later. Doesn't really matter that's in the wrong compartment. Okay, so we have 6.4, more than enough to leave. So I can kind of explore freely. I can grab up those 2 clims, but that's not really a high priority. Gas is doing okay. I should probably scan for Olympus fragments or any other thing that I don't have a lot of, because we don't really need the clim that badly. But it would be nice to nab. Okay, red balloons. We don't get a lot of those. We got a lot of them the first time and haven't had a lot more need for them, but cars, a gas station, I think. Gas. Not a lot of super interesting stuff. This is a pneumatube, which did not give me a lore. I always want lore. Don't give me decals. It really speaks to how much gamers must be motivated by cosmetics all the time, because oh my god. The frequency with which loot things contain cosmetics, even in games that don't even seem related to that premise, is weird to me. It must have been a playtesting thing, like, that really appealed to people. I'm fine with the game having cosmetics, but instead of it being like a random loot thing that makes me go, whoa, wow, I got a thing, I'd rather it just be like, you can craft cosmetics. You can make red dye with this combination of resources, and just have it all be available from the get-go, if you really want to customize things. Or just have it be a module that you unlock via the tree. Like I'd like to be, oh, this gives you customization, and then like after that is one that adds decals, and after that is one that adds other customizations. Like just putting it in the tech tree would be perfectly fine for me. In fact, I explicitly dislike it being mixed in with all the other loot because it's clutter. Well, like I also feel compulsed not to abandon loot because it's loot, but I'm like genuinely, why am I even gathering this stuff? I really dislike the evil hands because they look like amber in the distance, but I'm pretty sure that's just a big evil hand. They are evil things. See, let's drive towards these 2 anchors so I'm ready with them when the place tells me it's time to leave. They also seem relatively easy to access because they're both just in this like relatively flat low point, I think. Yeah, it looks really flat around here. So I can also cruise around and see if there's fun resources around here. At this point we primarily want Olympium fragments, which I think that is. Ow. Oh! Pro tip, don't drive into that. Ow. That sucked. Yep, so can confirm that's an explosive. Very cool. Think one of you is fucked up? Yeah, you are. I don't currently see Olympium, so I think it's deeper in. Also, I think a bunch of bad stuff's going to manifest around me the moment I grab this, in the form of probably more exploding hands, which is rude. Alright, so yeah. Normal guys explode. Of course, the giant hand cluster also explodes. And is worse. And I have a flat. In fact, everything on the left side of my vehicle is not good right now. Thanks for that. This is the third time I'm fixing this tire on this run. I'm a little indignant about it. This one's my fault for sure. I exploded the whole car, but holy shit, this tire explodes. This tire really sucks at durability in general. Uh-oh. Yeah, do not leak. That's very bad. Is this one also messed up? Nope, I thought I saw something else as being messed up. Oh, it's that these doors themselves are fragmented now. That's where all the dots are right now. Okay. This isn't what I was going towards, was it? I think those would be listed as different than that. What's that purple thing on the floor? That's just a ring of light at the base of the thing? Okay. Thought it somehow dropped like epic loot. Video games train you to think that purple stuff's really important. Battery okay? Yeah. I'd go back to trying to find... I do not see that resource. I thought there was a hexagon-y thing. Was it just the bubbles? That would be disappointing. Ha! They definitely make it a little more dangerous for you to look around when you're driving. Low-level radiation. Remember when I was afraid to explore low-level radiation locations? Like, it's gonna hurt me the whole time. Oh no. And now I'm just like numb to it because the whole game just hurts me all the time at this point. And the only cure is a piece of technology that I'm gate kept from because the game just will not surface those resources to me. Now I'm just like, I'll just eat some more canned food. I'm on the wrong side of this vehicle. It's definitely time to be carrying the other hammer around. So we're gonna need it. I'm carrying 2 regular hand vacs around at the same time. That's a bit excessive. Was it just because you sometimes benefit from having a weaker hand vacuum? For bulbs? Is that why I'm carrying it around? Definitely don't need 2 of them at once on top of the good one. I'm good at cars. Okay, that is 2 special little hexagon boys and 4 radiation-y thingies. Okay, now that I'm up close to it, I can see that that is unfortunately bubbles. It looked like hexagons in the distance. When you're closer, you can tell that it's bubbles. I do not like that those things are nearby. The pickpockety guys are very rude. Ooh, a dumpster pearl. That's a fun find. Let's not attract that thing's attention. Big dumpster pearl. Oh my god. Okay. Looking forward to cracking that boy open. Boy howdy. Let's get over... Oh, haven't been in there yet. Open up. We like it when the game supplies me with random repair items. Very kind. Ah! My flashlight! I'm bad at this game. But I haven't hit myself in the head with my door for a while, so that's exciting. I forgot. Look at it all spew everywhere. I'm not sure if grabbing all of the anchors does actually cause a zone to pop with storms, or if that's just a coincidence when it happens. We definitely see a lot of instances of it not happening. That is new. What is this? Friend or foe? Anomaly. Beating heart. It's been at least 2 months now, and I'm the last member of our team left out here. Totally lost. I have no idea what day it is, where I am, where I should be headed, even which way might be north. The roads themselves seem to be changing, and those barriers that the government installed open and close with a mind of their own. I don't know if I'm ever going to get out. I've only been able to keep going thanks to these magical piles of semi-organic junk that somehow knit the van back together after whatever thing smashed it apart last time around. I can get hit by electricity or dragged into a tree 10 times over, but these things patch everything up better than any mechanic I ever knew. And then I just drive into the forest once more, trying the next junction. That's the story of the last living member of the Bugwatch team, stuck out here forever because we came to record a dumb show about insects. Oh no. A beating heart. It does look like the repair module I built. So I guess if I drive up to it, it'll repair my car? That's great news. I think the other heart thing might have also repaired my vehicle, but I never pieced it together that it did that because the lore entry wasn't as helpful as this one at explaining what it did. I remember it sounded vaguely positive, but this one explicitly just heals my vehicle. And more lore for later. We'll get to more lore when I get back to the place. I try not to read it out here unless I think it might glean me actual important mechanics that I need right now. Okay. So my stuff is somewhere. Storm has not yet begun. Oh, but that one is coming. Do I drive near it or directly into it? These details are really neat. They do kind of counteract some of the... Oh, you can see that meter going up. They do somewhat counteract the tension when you realize how many things are going to help you out in this game. Like, how will I survive going so deep into the zone? And it's like, well, there's several things that heal your entire vehicle and battery. And then there's even, wow, despite being, yeah, I think when these tools break, they don't give you as much. Oh god, the storm is here. What does it do? Don't drive into that. I think that when your tools break, that thing that they were mining doesn't get the full effect. Because that was trash. That was trash loot. And every time I've opened one of them with this thing, it's been pretty substantial, actually. Am I really going to risk going into this place when I don't know what this storm does? That's an upgrade I could use, is the game telling me what storms do. I don't think that's on the tree at all, but like I could definitely use a scanner that's able to penetrate the storms and give me a clue about what's going to be inside of it, because they're very different levels of bad. Some of them like barely matter. And some of them are rude, but not acid. Like some of them are like, hi, it's windy. And I'm like, okay. Uh-oh. Oh, it's a bad one. Oh, it's a very bad one. Jesus, radiation. Oh my god. Can you calm all of your titties? Just really quick. Oh my god. Okay, please don't abruptly die right now. Oh my god. Oh, don't launch me in the sky right now. I have 30% health, and my car is red in some places. I do not want to be stuck right now. Oh my god. See, this is a great example of why I would like to know which storm is coming. I just want to get the fucking corrupted energy. Okay, I'm out of the storm. Okay, maybe my warning should be storm is moving quickly, because although I'm really bad at judging how quickly it's moving. The main thing is that once I'm in it, it's surprisingly quick to escape. It does feel like the storm leaves me behind very quickly if I start driving the other direction, which like is technically, you know, it's the smartass in the comments will be like, yeah, obviously. I mean like more obviously, smartass. Fucking, I already hear you in advance, because you exist every time. Oh, you said a thing that's obvious. Yeah. Tongue winky emoji or something. It's like that one like you escape shockingly quickly from it once you get going, and it's like, okay, if I could better judge how fast it's moving in advance, I might be able to tell that it's like the really fucked up one. Okay, are we doing okay-ish? Ish is certainly a thing to call it. I believe I'm out of repair putty again. I have been churning through this stuff. Guess who's out of chemicals again? Almost. Okay, I have all of this zone's clim. Oh, that's a lot of bad. Are both of my front tires fucked up? A mechanics kit. I think we have that's 2 mechanics kit ones. Okay, I actually have mechanics kits too. I'm a good boy. I have 1 mechanics kit. No, I have 3. Right, I have more of them down here. What? I just got an achievement for fixing 6 status effects on the same car component. 4 of them were this run. That thing popped 3 times, and then that happened. It needs to fuck off, man. Like, oh my god. That one tire is so cursed to the point where I think it has an invisible status effect that just to troll me at this point. My compartment's bad. Oh. My fuel... No, my roof storage is damaged. Thank God these are all used 5 times. So I'm having to go through this whole game using this because the it's so unreasonable to use the welder. It uses a resource the game is actively just not surfacing to me, and I know I say that a lot, but it is frustrating. And at this point, I'm actively being told to hang out in the zone that's beyond that point. The game's pushing me to not... In fact, it's making it actively hard for me to even stop in the zone that actually features that stuff in the first place. Sealing kit. You can thankfully keep making those. Okay. Sealing kit. I feel the need to like really patch my car up as much as I can in the field all the time because it just goes bad so quickly. Obviously it's safer and more efficient to do it at the base, because at the base you're not worrying about getting blindsided by bad things in the middle of it, and you're not eating away at the time you have left to do effective things in this run. But at any moment I might just get murdered again by the fucking sky falling on me. Okay, I do like these guys. I will loot this stuff even when it's not that high priority. Where is it? Okay, no bubbles are here. I guess it's a bubble node, but there's no bubbles there right now, which I don't know what to do about that. Maybe I looted that one already on the way in? That seems possible. We were already on this side of the map before, and then things went bad. That's weird that it still shows up on a scan, though. There's clearly nothing to mine there. I don't know what's going on. Maybe there's another one underground, like it spawned under the map, and you're just kind of fucked at that point. A wee bit. Not the rads. Logbook wet. Dangerously moist. The recent and liberal application of water means that this is a little too conductive. As a general rule, try to keep wet things away from electricity and vice versa. What's wet? It's a wet pearl. Okay. I thought I got wet or something. Is there an angry gravity thing over here? That sounds like gravity noises. Those guys are here. Ah! I specifically don't... I keep my finger not on the left trigger while I'm playing this game, but it's at the base of the left trigger and I'm using an Xbox controller. I think I brush against the slope of it sometimes and accidentally activate it because this game kind of just has a dead zone problem, I think. Like when my scroll bar gets fucked up, I think that's because the dead zone is poorly calibrated. Oh, that was both of my crowbars. And there's also, I think, essentially the equivalent of a dead zone. I don't know if it's called that on triggers, because these triggers have levels. They can tell how much you're pulling them. It's one of the things they kept bragging about on the Xbox One or whatever. I think this might be a Series X or Series S controller or whatever. I guess the Series controllers are probably all the same. Yeah, what kind of truck is that? Is that the type of truck we've been trying to identify? I should not be going this far away from my car. What's these things? A fuel barrel. Okay. So fuel is just around on the ground. I was wondering about that a few times, but we've never confirmed it. Was it that sign? I think I was looking at that sign and not a vehicle. And there's the exit, I think. Or an exit. It's red, so it's actually probably where I came from in the first place. Okay, so I think fuel and battery might not be the big obstacles that they feel like on paper. I think that fuel you might be able to retrieve from barrels throughout the map, even if you can't find the good cars for it. And I think that you probably can craft battery jumpers relatively easily. I'm just thinking about what happens when these resources actually run out, which I've deathly avoided because it feels scary. But I imagine that it'd be the end of the world if they actually stopped you dead in your tracks at that point. So they probably don't stop you dead in your tracks. You probably can craft things or relatively easily find things to fix the problem. You just have to, like, then, you know, scavenge and navigate the map and do more gameplay. And, you know, more risky behavior. Obviously, your car gets immobilized, so if it gets immobilized in a really bad place, you're completely fucked on some level. Okay, no, this is a new... Oopsie. Oh, my car was on the whole time, shit. Ah! Let's see. Can I revisit that fuel barrel? Can I remember where it was for 2 seconds? In this space? I keep not pressing what I think I'm pressing, basically. Okay. I'm not sure how much that's gonna be. But yeah, that's not very much. Okay, that's not very much. So that's its own concern. It's not very much fuel. You'd think a barrel that's listed as being almost full would feature more gas. I don't understand. Why does it say it's almost full? You should say it's almost empty. It's obviously a giant barrel. I'm pretty sure that a barrel that size is more than a normal, like, consumer vehicle can even fit in its tank. I don't think gas tanks are that big in normal cars. So you should definitely say it's more empty than that, at least. I don't think I want to make any more limb magnets right now because I don't think I'm using them to their full potential yet. Or ever. There's a thing to check out over here, also full of radiation. That's fun for me. That's fun for me. I'm psyched about the radiation. I really wish the zone was full of more of the resources I actually want. At least Olympium fragments, since that's the new thing. But I would also like to discover new resources, because I think there still are some more that I haven't learned about yet. And I would also really would just love to have some of those Zone 2 resources that are so elusive because of this game's strange progression system. I feel like Zone 2 came and went very quickly, actually. But that might just because, in general, almost every video game, the first area feels longer, and sometimes, in many cases, it actually kind of is because of what goes into that kind of stuff. But, and pacing and things, I forgot to dump my stuff. Is my fucking fuel tank already leaking again? Now, boy, are we learning the value of having a not leaking fuel tank, apparently. I just added fuel to you. And you've been leaking the whole time, probably. What a dickhead. I don't even know what caused that this time. Yeah, at least on paper, the sane thing is to keep exploring this place as best I can for any resources, because it's so deep into the place. The part of me that wants to accelerate towards the end game tells me to just retreat back home, because then I'll unlock the zone and I can start my next run. But you spend the first half of your run exploring the places that aren't as important. So it feels like a real goal to, like, maximize my time in these zones. Need a guide? Ha! At this point I'm wondering if Bigfoot's real and will ever show up. Or if I'll ever see that floating door they told me about. I'm wondering if the floating door is a real gameplay mechanic that's just really rare. Or if the floating blue door that they talked about is just a urban legend thing. Or if it's a thing that's going to specifically come up in the end game. Hello. Like in the story, as a story moment. Although, wasn't the guy who was traumatized by it, isn't the same guy who's dead now? So there's no payoff for him, I don't think. I'll take some repairs, even if they're not that strong. It helps cap out the yeah, because it's a universal repair, so it helps cap off every part of my vehicle. Turn some of these gray-ish. I can't call them gray because gray is is the color they turn when they're gone, actually. But yep, it helped cap out some of these resources. Ow, and then I redo the damage. All right, so this is the inactive exit. One of them. Okay, that. What is that? Because that's the thing I need to scan at least. Is it just a bomb? Are these just explosive boxes? Explosives crate. Oh, they're full of explosives you can loot. Okay, that's one of the resource types. I think we need explosives for, like, the upgraded... Liberator? Or something? The zone's being very kind to me right now. And that I'm not being swarmed by, Is the thermal vac still more efficient at getting resources out of these things, probably? Isn't that usually the logic still? This is still a magnetizer, yep. Another repair thingy. Jesus. They're pretty around. A radio? More like get ratioed. I'm young. I'm hip. I say cool things. Ha 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 ha. In all honesty, the concept of being ratioed is extremely stupid. It's applicable sometimes. Every now and then, somebody on social media has such an obviously bad take, and you can just see the evidence of all of the people collectively. That's the main thing, is there's two different things. Sometimes just somebody says a thing under a popular tweet, and you can tell that everybody is replying to it and nobody is liking and sharing it. And it's like, okay, fucking nobody likes your take. Everyone hates that thing you said. It's just, you were so dumb. But people apply that wrong and then are like, ah, this person replied to that person, and the person replying got more notifications. And it's like, that's not that noteworthy. I keep freeing my cars on. In particular, speaking as somebody who has some following on social media, who interacts with a lot of small artists, I quote unquote ratio many of the people I reply to because my fans are surfaced my response and then interact with that like almost on autopilot all the time, and then it often eclipses the interactions with the person that I was actually responding to in the first place. But like I'm not proving them wrong or defeating them or providing a cooler social media interaction and like surpassing them or out-competing them. And that's a non-argumentative context, but people apply it in argumentative contexts, and it's like, okay, no, that person ratioed that person because they have a following, and the other person doesn't, or has a smaller following. And I know there are some people who would still argue that makes them owned or whatever, but that's really sad if you think that you win an argument by default because you are more popular. When people apply that kind of logic, you're like, okay, social media really is just ruled by a bunch of high schoolers sometimes, isn't it? And I don't even mean that in the dismissive, like, people who peaked in high school and never grew up. I know people who are still in high school and have literally not grown up. So much of social media is kind of plagued by the fact that it's full of high schoolers that have so much free time and spend so much time on there, but they're anonymous about their age, and you can't so when you're arguing with people, or when you see people arguing, or when you see a take that's strangely popular but even despite being extremely stupid, there's no way of noticing that, like, oh, this is a thought from a child, and also all the people that are sharing it, the people it was popular with, were also children, which, like, children or teenagers are not incapable of valuable insight. We sometimes... there's a poignant element of sometimes of like how injustice is pointed out better by young minds that haven't become numb to it, and how there's shitty ways that we live that I think I'm gonna leave because I don't really know what this place doesn't seem to have any of the resources I actually want, at least not the rare ones. Like, it's a trope that they use a child in a movie to highlight that there's some kind of injustice that everyone else is like numb to, and the child is like, why do we let this happen? And you're like, because, and then you can't explain it because like the real reason is that it is bad, but no one changes it, or because of systemic reasons everyone's accepted that they can't actually do anything about it. But on Twitter and whatnot, children just have really stupid thoughts a lot of the time, and they like get a crazy amount of clout and exposure sometimes just because they're signal boosted by other children, and it's like the unspoken reason why some of the discourse is so bad. The other part being the massive radicalization of society, where everything is split into two disparate political parties that are so divided now that they don't agree on reality, let alone what to do about it. It's all a mess. Social media is bad. I locked all of my Twitter accounts half year ago, and have stayed off of Twitter since. It's been nice being away from that. A thing I do quite like about Blue Sky is that when you block somebody, they get nuked from orbit, at least from your perspective. Like, they don't exist anymore. You can't look at their profile, they can't look at your profile. Your replies to each other vanish, and nobody can see them. Like, even third parties can't see them. I always hated that when a weirdo is responding to you and being annoying in your replies on Twitter. If you block them, all of your followers can still see that conversation. You blocking them makes it harder for them to find. That makes it so they can't respond to you in the future and keep finding your stuff, usually. Or at least it did back before, however the new system works, where they made blocking not really work. Is this one not at full, actually? Oh no, yeah, this is. But it always bothered me. I'd like block people, and then people would show up to like defend me, and I'm like, no, stop responding to the person. I blocked them, and so I would get them out of my feed, and now you're responding to them. So I'm seeing your half of the argument with this person that I specifically did not want to talk to anymore. Blah 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 blah. Lost some of the train of thought of that overall, but who cares? Because it was a stupid topic. Nitro boost. Don't know when I'll use that, but just felt like it was worth grabbing up at least. What is that? Oh, it's a tree candy? Yeah. Few tree candies. I'll just do this. They didn't do the spinny animation, but they did get gathered. Oop. Oh my god, I haven't even gotten to the big compartment yet, and this thing's already too full of stuff. Why did I loot in that direction? There we go. No, don't put the flares there. Insane. Put the pearls down real quick to buy me some time while I deal with everything else. Where do I put everything? Ah! Help! Help! The answer is I've got to stop using these the way I do. This one's literally just full of food. I can put the food in the spare parts compartment. Whereas the big one has to be another storage thing for the stuff that actually matters. Half the reason that this food is here is basically because I could just be throwing it away. I can probably throw it into the recycling thingy. It's very inefficient to use the small ones. I do wonder, actually. Does canned food recycle? No. Literally useless. Got it. Okay. Nope. No, not you. Boop. Be nice if it at least recycled. I mean, come on. Reuse, recycle, remaster. That's the 3 R's. You were not supposed to come out, though. You stay here. Oh, a perfectly U-shaped compartment. Isn't that nice? Don't you feel special now? None of this... right, I already got all the resources out. So this will be everything else. Ah! Probably have space for a ceiling kit. Yep, because I had to use them up. I wish that these cosmetics at least stacked more or something. Like, geez. Alright, let's see how much that I can loot out. Just to see how much I can loot in. There you go. Buy me a little more space for these cosmetics. These cause and effect medics. And this excess of flares. Okay. Let's put you down. Now I'll work through all these dumpster pearls. And et al. How did I get more shit in my inventory? There we go. SRR meeting minutes number 2. Meeting minutes November 18th, 1949. Agenda. How best to classify and store SRR equipment and journals. Suitable social clubs for meetings that will not exclude Dr. Ophelia Turner. Arising concerns, the SRR lacks formal structure. Country clubs, academies, golf venues, etc. off limits to Dr. Ophelia Turner. People do not like a Dr. Ophelia Turner. Action items. Dr. Ophelia Turner shall be responsible for storing and maintaining SRR equipment Dr. Reginald Stanley Robinson shall be responsible for minute taking and record keeping. AOB, local cider tasting courtesy of Dr. Henry F.W. Mulligan. And then minutes number 1, which I guess I haven't read directly or something, or maybe they got added to your thing when you pick them up. Minutes number 1 from 2 days earlier, so Ophelia Turner must have been there and went badly. September 16th, 1949. Celebration of the founding of SRR. What Our Future Will Look Like address by Dr. Ophelia Turner. Open ideation session with consultation from Dr. Ophelia Turner on experimental steps. Arising concerns. Proper safety procedure, handling and protection of LIM experimentation. Action items. Society agreed to regular monthly meetings on Friday evenings. Dr. Reginald Stanley Robinson to take notes and format future minutes. AOB in matters arising. Tea cake tasting courtesy of visiting Professor Sir Anthony Gold FRS. This is meeting number 1. Okay. So they do get automatically added to my journal when I pick them up, I guess. Not when I read them. I thought the act of opening them was how it worked. So basically the moment I have them, I can just throw them away. If I remember to find them elsewhere. Burned out light replacement, that's very strange. But they did give me one also. I think I've used more light replacement kits on these than on real lights. I don't even know how I'm doing that. Jesus Christ. I'll not. What was all that stuff? I saw weird stuff mixed in. Steering wheel. Might have been a couple decals. Oops. Wet effects. Okay, so wet. I guess they're just meant to have status effects to make them quirky and things to deal with, and then maybe you fix them sometimes. In this one's case, I think it's just wet so that you have to worry about it electrocuting you as you're walking around with it, I guess. Another light replacement kit. I've had shocking success at never actually having to replace my actual lights. I think I've only had to use a light replacement kit once. It does the whole screwing in animation. Into what? Yep, that was a smaller one. Dumpster pearls are still crazy. They go hard as loot. Hello. The overcharged arc mod.
What do you think, Francis?
It could work.
It will work. We don't know anything about the well, but the driver doesn't have to go in completely empty-handed.
You're removing the arc device's limiter and overloading its charge capacity.
Right. So no matter how much energy the car's getting blasted with, the arc will be able to overpower it to open a gateway. It's the only way to extract the driver from whatever's going to happen at the trigger point.
And then we use Allen's suppression technique to keep the whole thing from completely exploding. This sounds like a lot.
It'll be fine. I'm just gonna die horribly and it'll be funny.
Smart's looking good. Now you can head out and overcharge it. We'll give you instructions when you're en route.
I love being, having to improvise the plan. It's only a little terrifying. Alright, once again out of space, so all those are gonna go in there. The old school steering wheel. Oops. Warning, this is not paint. Game must really expect me to use more paint than I'm using. It's really, the decals taking up so much space doesn't help. I'm just like, damn, how actively do you expect me to remodel the whole vehicle? That's a lot of space. Or that's a lot of loot. The side fuel tank, I remember you. Hello? I'm worried that this might have been here before this last run, and I lost track of what I was supposed to be doing a little bit. But I did gain more progress into the zone, at least. If you're looking for a sign to push through the adversity. This is it. Aw. That's nice. I will die horribly, though. Huh. Okay, I unlocked A6. They want me to go to here now, which costs 5. The anomaly barricade. And this is unlocked now, which lets me go almost to here. I wonder if I'd activate D1 if it lets me zigzag up here. Unfortunately, D1 does not connect to this 5 location. This would. But overall, not great shortcut paths. If I get that one upgraded, maybe I can fast travel to C3. But I don't know if it works that way or not. But I might be able to afford it. I hope. Just need to make a circuit board. And I can do that. They're actually really easy to craft. I have 8.2 corrupt. Damn. Wow, I came back with that little of everything else, but that much corrupt from that run. What an extremely backloaded resource in this run. Okay. Yeah. Allowing you to bypass junctions along highways. I guess I'll see if it lets, how quickly it lets me go to that one location. We'll see how highways work in this mode. On one hand, it could really quicken how quick I get to certain locations, which is helpful for the duration of this playthrough. And because the deeper we get, the more these runs might drag a bit. But potentially means skipping Zone 2 even more and getting even less of the resources I'd like to be getting. Oh, this is chaos. Look how many parts of the map are just bad. Terrifying. Okay. Can I unlock anything here? Radiation. Oh, it'll cost me all of my Olympium fragments, but I can get I can nullify that original 2.5 radiation. And Olympium shirt also costs the fragments. It's like a 50% explosion resist. I want that. I really wish I found more Olympium fragments after that one zone. If I hadn't stopped for it, if I hadn't riskily stopped for a few more, I wouldn't even be able to afford this one. But what else would I be trying to build, and does that also require Olympium fragments? 2 more circuit boards will let me scan more. The antenna having more durability should mean that I can re-roll more parts of the map. So we obviously don't want to drive into the big horrible voids if I can avoid it. Haha, avoid it. Advanced antenna. We don't go up here very often. Hop, 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 hop. I wonder if I have enough rubber. I did go really heavy on that. Yeah. Oh! The scaffolding was closer to me than I expected. Felt a little endangered there. Is the back of this just full of loot? Hypothetically. Yeah, it's funny how much they just spawn loot at me continuously. Sure, why not? Would you like to hit it? A great upgrade would be to be like whenever you saw something apart with this, it suctions all the stuff into your inventory. So I would like to have a suck power, but I don't want to actively switch to a separate device every time. You want to have a little bit of that quality of life power fantasy upgrade for the late game. Seem to be out of space for just the sheer number of steel plates that I generate. The incident thing, just normal stable energy. Well, that's nice. Oh, it's super cheap. Despite it being such a late game thing. I guess it's more of a jokey item and they don't want to make me spend big stuff on it. What is it? What's it going to count as? Is it going to start at 1 now, or is it going to remember? So that'd be fun. This garage has 20 trips without an incident. 20! Look at that fucking record. I feel like I just jinxed myself by installing this and now I'm gonna immediately die. But I think that means I've played 20 trips so far and I've never, ever, ever lost a run. Let's see if I can keep that streak going the whole game. Experimental charging station. Just a couple circuit boards. I can find out what this thing does. I could pre-craft a bunch of circuit boards, but it'd be nice to not accidentally use up a resource and then accidentally cap it out. That just seems like a logical thing to be a little worried about. Yeah. Okay, the scavenging's a little too far away. That cannot be useful in the construction of this particular device. Okay, so did it get stronger? Did you overcharge or something? I don't know. I don't know if you charged any better than normal. No idea if it did anything useful. The vague implication is that there is this meter that's down here that slowly fills. So maybe the implication is that this thing, like, will fill faster and allow me to charge better, but, like, this has never been a concern. It literally has always been capable of fully charging my car. So if that's what I just upgraded, which does look like it's going up pretty quickly, then this was the most worthless upgrade ever. Like, this has not been a gameplay mechanic. This little meter here has never mattered. It's like being like, oh, we'll help make sure you never run out of fuel. And it's like, this thing has never run out of fuel, though. It might technically be in the long term capable of running out of fuel. Maybe. If you play the game for a really, really long time, but it seems like you could comfortably beat the game really easily without this thing ever running out. Even though it technically does seem to not be at 100% anymore. And if it does run out, that's a little scary, because we don't have the most reliable fuel sources, although if you find outdoor gas tanks, it seems like you could do a lot. I don't know how reasonable it would be to try to fill them all up with individual tanks that you then bring back here to fill this place up. I don't see that panning out, but locally at least it's not that much of a threat. I was about to say, is this screen finally full? But no. 600 marsh eggs to get a repair station. I have 4. This game will not give me marsh eggs, and I'm sad. 3 limb chips can make me make a deco vend, which is probably worthless. A circuit board, and I don't have the unstable energy for pneumatic lockers, which I think would further increase their size, which I could technically use because I am actually running out of space, but not the highest priority. For now, I can still leave stuff in my blacksmith anomaly. I can't make an Olympian panel. Olympian bumper. I can invent that because of the radiant dredge anomaly. Olympian doors. An issue being, can I even make Olympium doors? They're made of Olympium fragments, right? Which is its own problem, because that's the thing that I don't have of. Yeah, like I want Olympium doors. Let's see, armor to Olympium. They have 10 more health, 5 more impact resist, and 5 more explosion resist. So their built-in resistances are not amazing, honestly. Like, that's only... As an end game resource, having 10% resist is pretty shitty. It feels like their primary power is just the fact that they have more health. Should I just be making lead-plated doors? Lead-plated doors have more health than armored doors. What's up with that? And they're easier to make because they just use steel and lead instead of thermosap. Here I was just trusting that the higher level gear would be better, but is 10% impact resist even that good at reducing? Like, This has 5 more health. Isn't 5 more health probably better than having 10% impact resist? This is why my car falls apart so easily. These increasingly, like, upsettingly expensive upgrades barely defend you anymore. This one has 20% impact resist. That's better. It's still not a very good amount of resistance for a late game item that's really expensive to craft. I guess my gear here really set the expectation for me, because this stuff gives me 40% resistance to entire elements. So I thought my car was keeping pace in a reasonable way, but no, it's just shit. Strangely, your car upgrades are kind of trash. They're like disproportionately expensive compared to the value you gather them, to the point where you almost could be just putting crude stuff on it and you'd be not that bad off. The main thing is just they have much less health. 30, 40, 60, 55. Do I not have an... I have armored doors. Is there not such thing as an armored panel? Does it skip from steel to Olympian? Weird. But yeah, talk about diminishing returns. So crude door to steel door, you gain 33% health. And then steel door to armored door, you gain like about the same amount. Then armored door to Olympian door, you only gain 10 health, which is like 15% maybe from 55. It's a very small upgrade for how expensive it is. So I'd probably use the Olympian fragment on my bod, which is a permanent upgrade too, and not a resource you lose because it breaks. The upgrades to my body are permanent. Power grip tires. This is basically just me clearing this out so I don't see it listed as an upgrade anymore. But it costs 2, which is pricey. XL roof battery is a little tempting. That costs 2. Mobile workbench. Wait. Circuit boards. Eh. There, I went a little bit ahead. As a treat. This costs my Olympian fragments. Is it even worth it? I can stack this with explosion resist. That's probably worth it. Explosion resist is pretty good. My personal goal is to block that 2.5, but getting 45% explosion resist is probably a stronger thing to get. Also, no, I can't stack these. They both cost 20 out of 34. I don't have 40. Fuck. This is one of my goals, and it gives me access to other stuff down the tree. Driving me insane with this car upgrade. Please give me more. Alright. There's a crafting 2 workbench. No! I can make a plasma scrapper, which is good. And a hand vac. I cannot make a thermal vacuum. I cannot make a magnetic hammer. I can't make any tier 3 things. It still doesn't get caught up with this thing. Oh, that was probably not worth it. It's only level 2? Can it become 3? Anti-grav emitter? None of these sound like they do that. That sucks. Alright, what's a chronodilator? Seems localized time dilation is possible, albeit within a contained space and demanding substantial energy. This device should reduce the apparent passage of time. It may also cause confusion, nausea, and flatulence. So I can, like, activate slow-mo to avoid a bad thing happening to me, basically. I think that's what it's saying. If something's coming at me, I can activate a slow-mo bubble that affects maybe everyone but me, or maybe everyone including me. But if it affects me, then it improves my reaction time. Whereas if it only affects everyone else, but I can move at normal speed, then it lets me evade something in a high-stakes situation. It's definitely like things are very bad, let me get out of here without sustaining tons of damage by giving me a little bit of moment. But the big cost could be too scary, and also you have to have space for it. Magnetic bumper. Sure, placing a gigantic magnet on your bumper may not be the most impressive feat of engineering, but it certainly will help you collect those loose scraps from the ground as you drive, though. It has 16 slots of inventory. That is extremely funny that it just gathers resources for me. That's so funny. 50 health. It might be worth it, or it might really fuck me up, because the bumper might be one of the things that actually does have high durability. A truly remarkable example of the application of limb technology. This lightens the vehicle substantially, allowing it to fall gently. It can also be easily righted in the highly unlikely event of a crash or flip. An anti-grav emitter. It's also it's even more expensive than slow-mo. Twice as expensive as slow-mo. But it's a roof rack ability that lets me right myself quickly with an ability instead of using getting out and teleporting. And if I'm in a bad fall, I can activate slow fall to save me. That's definitely powerful and interesting. I don't know if I would invest the space for it. Maybe. While I'm thinking about it, though, let's get these floodlights off. You live in here. That's not a floodlight. Floodlights will live in here with the nitro boost for if I think I need it, which will be when I get into a dark level. And outside of that, I have a side battery on here still, even though I have a high capacity battery there. Gotta be something better to put there. I should put the fuel creator thingy in there. The fuel synthesizer. Yeah, I have space for it. That at least can go on this side. So it feels like this side of the vehicle should really be full of things that refill my battery and fuel, not those things. I just kind of lost track of what was there, I guess. Let's see. Olympian bumper, 75 health. Armored bumper, 60 health. They do have a lot of health. And that's the proper... And it makes sense, the bumper is the first thing that crashes into most things. Supposedly. Really feels like my fucking trunk... Not trunk. My hood is really good at taking damage. I was looking at you. No. No, it was a power that goes on my bumper. The magnetic bumper. 50 health, so much less health, but it is a magnet. I think I might nab it. I think I might nab it and specifically put it on the back of my vehicle, because I have not been encountering that many bunnies. If we're honest. Auto Parker Juke Jet, magnetic bunker. Alright, magnets. I have space for magnets. And this should have more health than this guy does. The limb pulse emitter is an earlier game thing. It has 60 health. Little did I know. This thing has less health than my emitter. Why? They're both special ability bumpers. Ah! Alright. It'd be nice to see this thing gather up random resources. And it's also by here where I'll notice it when I'm dealing with all my back of the car stuff. That feels logical to me. We'll see. A little full back here with all my nonsense. My tools that I haven't used up fast enough. Let's get rid of some of my... One's precious, but that doesn't matter because they all are. Looks like it's less durability. Let's get rid of my normal scrappers because there's too many of them in here. But I can't store them in here. I'm just constantly out of space everywhere. I just... The fact that you can only drop them individually. I'd rather put my putty in my car and my excess scrappers here, because at least the putty will be used. Let's put this away. I really don't like that they were dropped individually. Okay, so if I can't use it that way... Ah! the only way. Every one of these is worth a scrap metal. Welcome to my gainer arc. It just doesn't make sense to throw them away. It's 30 scrap metal. I'm just gonna vomit everywhere. That's why they should let you recycle these for a scrap metal, at minimum. Because they do have scrap metal. There, that's more efficient than having that many fucking canned goods. It's tempting to do more of them, but it will take forever. And that's the primary thing stopping me right now. Okay, so I have 8 putties in here. I'm gonna make 1 electrician's kit, 1 mechanic's kit, and 2 sealing kits. I have plenty of resources for these things, I just can't store them if I make that many of them. So I shan't. All these excess flashlights. One flare. Alright, so I probably can't recycle road flares then. I don't know if there is a use for road flares then. Oh, there was a mechanic's kit there the whole time. Whoops. I really should just bring them with me to add space to this thing at this point. It'll give me more space to get rid of these excess saws that at this point I probably don't even need as a backup. But whatever. I could disassemble them, I guess. Yeah, the lower level saws aren't very necessary to keep around because I'm not having that much trouble crafting more of the better saws. Yeah, those are pretty normal parts. We're mostly fine. Alright, back to capping out any research I can do, just for the sake of it. We're doing okay. Yeah, I need marsh eggs. And this just doesn't matter. I have 2 of the 3 Olympium thingies already researched. Power crypt tires are an option. Learning Nitro Boost will use the last of my unstable energy. Anti-grav. It's a concept. I don't know if I'm going to install it right now, but get my stuff invested. Ugh. Yeah, it does fill up faster. And then I can expel it all pointlessly if I want to. And it just comes back. This is the kind of wastefulness that caused all of our today's modern problems. Okay. Not a bad day for resources. And then, I guess next episode, I'll go to the next narrative objective.